Hey everyone, back with another quick tutorial. I thought I haven't really done percussions yet, so I was just having a look at this track and I just thought, why not explain this layering of your claps and snares really quickly to give you just an understanding of how that could create an effect that you like and why you would do that. So just wanted to show you a few things you could do with your snaps and your snares and claps to get them to maybe sit better in the mix, to cut through a little bit more, or to give you the overall type of sound that you're looking for. I'm just going to play this percussion loop here for you, and then we're just going to hear the snare with it in totality. Now with that, you'll be able to, I guess, see why we make a few of the decisions we do, and subsequently I'll just talk about that a little bit. So let's go ahead and play that. I'll just put the master, oops, turn that off, turn that on to give it a little bit more loudness, just for the sake of this tutorial. Okay, so let's play it again. Okay, so we can hear pretty clearly that the clap and the snare are cutting through nicely. So if we look at that again, now you'll see here that there's actually a snare and a clap layered. Why have we done that? Let me just take away the clap for a second. I'll play that one more time. And the reason I've put the snare there is because it cuts through the mix quite well. You'll hear that nice high end on this snare, and we'll look into that a little bit in a second. But that is the reason for it being there. So I'll play it again. Now let's bring the clap back, and let's delete the snare. And let's play that in the mix. Okay, so you can obviously hear that, so not obvious, but in the clap, you can hear that it's there with a nice tail and body. But which you want in sometimes in your snares, or you want them in your clap snares. You want to have that nice body, has a little bit of nice tail. You kind of want that effect. So in this particular case, the reason they've been layered, now oftentimes you can EQ sounds, and I'm not saying you can't do that either, but I often find it very useful to keep sounds clean and not destroy their shape to a layering process, which is what we've chosen to do in this particular track. Now in this particular track, obviously I tested several different types of snares. So if I listen to this one, but it really is just about what sits right with your track. Now you want that snare to really cut through, but you really want it to have a better tail. And in this case, the best way to achieve that was through layering. So if we play it together, as you can see, it creates that effect. So a few other things you can actually do with this as well is to make it cut through the mix. Let's just have a look at what we've done to the EQs and how we've really brought this to life. So if you're not familiar with Ableton, definitely get familiar with the drum rack. It's a really, really good way to control the sounds that you're using. And just, you can just basically, if I go to my sounds, let's say here, drum hits, we can look at all sorts of drum hits. It's easy as just dragging it in there, and That way, when you're circling through your sounds, you can just drag them all together, and the ones that you like the most after listening to them. So, and just pop them in there. You'll be able to really just say, okay, these are the top 5 that I really like, and I'm going to use one of them. Just makes it a lot easier than trying to drag one in, play it in the mix, just bring it into the drum rack, and away you go. So, in this case, if I play it back, we can see here that there's basically this sound and this sound. Now, in the particular instance here, the first thing you can do here is you want to control maybe what I would call the ADSR of the snare. So you can really shape this or bring this in and out to make sure you only get the parts of the snare that you want. In this particular case, I've just brought the tail of the snare a little bit. I just want the snap. And in the clap, I've pretty much just largely left it open because we want that nice tail. The snare, very basically EQ'd. You just want to cut the low. We just cut the lows out for this particular sound because really want to, if we look at this EQ here, it's got those high frequencies that we want. Now, if I look at the snare, if I look at the clap, just drag that in there. Don't have an EQ on it, don't even need it. So just notice, see how it's missing that top part there? If I look at the snare, that's pretty much coming through. So you can see how they complement each other. This has got the high end, the snare, and the clap has got a little bit more body. Probably can clean it up, to be honest, like this, and just get rid of those lows. And it's just, yeah, you're not getting the highs from there, but you can actually hear that. So you don't even need the EQ. I didn't even need it. I was just showing you guys, obviously, for the sake of the video. So, the other things you could probably do to make this really pop, and this is a total spectrum analyzer, but another thing you could do is adding a saturator to this as well. I love saturators. They do bring out extra harmonics in sound. So I'm just going to turn this off and play it, and I'll turn it back on, and you'll see the difference it's made. Target frequency is 1K. You can fiddle around with this, but really, I think this setting is on the Ableton saturator. Really, really good saturator for people who use Ableton. I just dropped it in there and just put a bit of drive, and it's pretty default. There's not much done here, and you can mess around with the dry wet. No need to get too complicated, but I'll just turn it on and off, and you'll be able to see what it does. Yeah, so you can really, it sort of brings out that 1K body a little bit more. We wanted that with this particular sound. The snare was really cutting through nicely, but just to give it that little bit more body, and we added the saturator there as well. Really nice. Put a little bit of drive on it, not too much. It's all about the little bits. It's not about doing something really big. Then, of course, a little bit of compression as well. Now, these compression settings, we've set it to RMS. Basically, it's a lot to go into with compressors, but instead of controlling the peaks, we kind of wanted to just round off this. You can see how the compressors really made a nice difference. 4:1 ratio, attack targeting pretty high, quick attack, and a nice long release because, well, the tail of the clap is long, so we wanted to sort of capture all of that and just make it all sit nice and tight together. And then after that, we've obviously just got a standard EQ, a standard sidechain to keep it away from the kick. And finally, we actually have something called the Mag EQ4. It's a really, really good plugin. I'll just basically, in this one, it's a little bit to go into, but we've just used a little bit of EQ there. Sometimes I like these kinds of passive EQs. The mag EQ is really, really good. And the air band is probably the really, really thing that makes it shine. So 20 kilohertz and then boosting the air band really, really helps it. We'll do another tutorial on the mag EQ later, but really good plugin. Get it from Plugin Alliance. Very, very worth it. Check it out. So I'm just going to turn this on and off, and you're going to be able to hear a difference again. So yeah, it just adds a little bit more subtle, high-end, but it's all about cutting through the mix in this particular case. You don't want your clap and snares to be drowned out in the background. Sometimes they are that missing piece and driving that track forward. So in conjunction with the other loops and hats, if we play it with the track. Yeah, and there you have it. Doesn't need to be super over the top, but as you can see in conjunction with the percussions. Now, you can bring this all the way up if you wanted. But I will say sometimes it's a hard topic with ears, but sometimes that's just sounding overpowering and it's not really balanced. It's about balance, not so much about trying to make everything super high and cut through. Sometimes the percussions are better left in a space like this. Percussions that groove to a track are not necessarily meant to be the focal listening element. So just think about any song that you hear when you hear drums. When you hear a drum in like a rock song, are you always hearing, unless they're super high, like drum fills or before some breaks when everything goes quiet, you're not necessarily always hearing the drums in the forefront. Generally, your focus is on the guitars or the vocals. So it's no different in when you're making electronic music. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there for today. Have any questions, pop them in. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one.